Okay, hello. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah. As it said up there, my name is Adam Phillips. I'm the Health and Safety Manager for a company called NicePack International. Same again, quick show of hands who's heard of NicePack International? One person. Fantastic. Two with me. NicePack International, basically we're a wet wipe manufacturer. All the wet wipes, baby wipes, cosmetic wipes, the PDI wipes used within the hospitals, we manufacture those. Okay. A part of our process, obviously the end product is a nice lotion-rich product which you can wipe on your baby's bottom, but part of the manufacturing process obviously requires some chemicals to be used in the neat format, which are classed as irritants. We do also use corrosive chemicals within our process, so sodium hydrochloride and sodium hydroxide for cleaning and such things. So we do come across chemicals on a daily basis, and we do use them quite frequently as well. The reason I've come here, I was asked to come and speak because we have used diphoterine a number of times. This is where I've messed everything up now. I just did a roll. Oh. Okay, so we had, back in 2010, we had a serious eye injury in one of our manufacturing plants in North Wales, in Flint. What actually happened? Roll too far. We had a chemical handling operative. He was 28 years of age. He was handling a lidded bucket. He tripped whilst walking upstairs with 28% caustic and DI water. That came into contact with his eye, and he wasn't wearing any PPE. Okay. He was held down, and that's the key term there. He was held down. He was in considerable amount of pain. Two of his colleagues were holding him down while trying to use saline solution. So 500 ml bottles of saline solution. They used a number of them. Obviously, they called an ambulance. He was kept in hospital for over a month, and he had immediate loss to sight in one of his eyes. Several consultant appointments, where they obviously tried to regain his sight. Lots of operations, lots of procedures to try and help the gentleman. After 12 months, this is my non-medical description. The eye burst, and there was an emergency operation to remove it. So obviously this gentleman at 28 years of age obviously suffered a serious life-changing incident. Obviously this, from a company perspective, this guy was out of work for a long period of time. From a financial perspective, we had to obviously replace that gentleman with someone to do his job. There was obviously a claims culture within this country, so this gentleman put a claim against the company, which quite rightly so, he was successful in achieving. There was lots of discussion within the health and safety executive about our procedures and how we manage use of chemicals on site. So we had lots of involvement from outside parties where they came down obviously to review our procedures. Part of that process, 6 months after, when we did some research with the aid of outside parties, obviously diphoterine was introduced. We had a similar incident where a technician was investigating a blockage on the tank that contained the caustic and the DI water. Pipework failure resulted in the injured person being sprayed with the solution, wearing a visor, which is deemed inadequate. Diphoterine was used within 30 seconds. The injured person was sent to hospital where he was given eye drops that he used for 1 month. He went home that night and went and saw his family. And all he did was used the 50 ml eye wash solution. So he had the same chemical in the eye, same concentration, and he went home that evening with eye drops, as opposed to 12 months later losing his eye. Obviously, he had his vision returned to full. Now, obviously, one of the things that stands out is the investigation of how this happened, how this incident was allowed to happen. There was lots of challenge on, obviously, procedures and behaviours on how they inspect the PP prior to use and everything. But the fundamental thing is he used diphoterine, he'd undergone the training, been lots of communication within the business, and that diphoterine, from my layman's term, saved his vision, saved his eye. There's lots of talks about costs and prices. But there's something at the back of this room that every building I've ever been to in the UK has to have. That's a fire extinguisher. I pay approximately £1,200 a year for a company to come round and service all the fire extinguishers we've got in our facility. Me personally, I've never discharged a fire extinguisher apart from a training scenario. But that costs me a lot of money. We spend, as a business, approximately £400 to £500 a year on the use of diphoterine. And in that time, we've obviously saved this gentleman's vision. We've had a number of minor incidents where we've had a lady with sodium hydroxide splash onto the back of her hand. She was wearing nitrile gloves, but it splashed onto the back of her hand and ran down the back of the glove. This lady, obviously, she worked within a laboratory area. She'd been trained on the use of diphoterine. She had a micro DAP next to her workstation. She removed the gloves, sprayed the micro DAP, sprayed the diphoterine on the back of her hand, and as a number of people have said throughout this presentation, she said the pain was instantaneously surpassed. So it went from being an irritant, causing her pain, getting worse, to spraying this on for instant relief. We've had a number of scenarios where people are using it instead of the saline solution, which, as Chris was saying, we do an investigation, understand the causes and why people are using it. But at the end of the day, if somebody uses a diphoterine, I can worry about the investigation. The fact that the person has been treated and there's no further injury, there's no continuation of injury, that's obviously the selling point for us. Okay? Any questions? Are we waiting for the end, yeah? Thank you.